All right. We are about to go live. I see a couple people already showing up. If you are there, you can chat with me on the side. We can see the comments. I know everyone can hear my voice right now. All right, we are going to go live now. And a word from our
While I
sponsor.
specialize in comic characters and super. Hi, I'm Steven with the Lines of Character Studio. At Lines of Character, I use your photo to create a one-of-a-kind, personalized character portrait. While I specialize in comic characters and superheroes, I also feature characters from your favorite games, TV, and movies. So whether it's one person or the whole family, I'll create an amazing portrait that's guaranteed to show off the hero in everyone. Lines of Character, personalized character portraits. Visit my shop at linesofcharacter.com.
What's up? What's up, everybody? It's been a minute. Season three. We are the Fresh Delivery Show, a show about anything and everything and all that you need to know about pop culture, current events, relationships, social justice, mental, physical, emotional health, travel, food, reviews, music, and entertainment. And it features candid conversation with co-hosts and audience. If this is your first time checking us out, you can download us on the Anchor app, and you can also follow us on all podcast formats on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and now Spotify. I am your host with the most. I am the Shaolin Fantastic. And we are kicking off season 3 with a special guest from the DMV area. He is, you ready for this? He's a writer, recording artist from the PG County area of Maryland who makes thoughtful melodic quasi-trap music with visceral undertones of the blues. He holds on to the hope that love, transparency, and honesty and can create a reality that like experienced individuals can live in without feeling the need to escape. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Boots in the house. What's up, my dude?
What's good, child? It's good to be here virtually.
Right? Virtually, man. It's we've actually kind of like known each other for a little bit. You know what I mean? Like we've been,
Couple
we
years, couple
talked.
years now.
Yeah, a couple years, man. How's everything going?
Everything is going like it's hectic in a good way, man.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
hectic
obviously, COVID's like a blessing and curse, right?
More of a it came in like a blessing and it's going out like a mild curse, I would say.
Yeah, nah, I definitely feel you on that.
It's been like 65% blessing, I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully with the new jumpstart, we're here to help, to have our audience understand who you are and learn about your new album that's coming out and just kind of get to know you and stuff like that. So hopefully everything that we move forward with this, it just actually just helps boost everything and just a lot more positive things going for you and stuff like that.
Oh, for
So
sure.
so first things first, tell us about your new music that's coming out in your album. Tell us a little bit about that.
Hmm.
Go right into it, bro.
Yeah, yeah. So, it's hard to believe someone who writes for a living would be shorter words. I would say that best way to describe the music that I'm about to put out is kind of just like a long time coming, and by that I mean like I always had a lot to say and had a hard time figuring out how to say it, and I feel like I found the right voice, the right words, the right tune. So it's been like I've been rapping for about 11 years now that I think about it, and I feel like I finally found a voice that I feel like I finally found my voice. So yeah, it's been a long
Yeah.
time coming with all of this. Yep. And so I'm just telling that story, man.
No,
That's
I
it.
definitely feel you. So your album is called "I Be Alright" and releases out April 1st, right?
Mm-hmm.
April 1st on Amazon Music. So definitely check out The links, we'll have the links in our podcast and as well as our Facebook and Instagram and all that good stuff. So your name, it's a very unique name. I've known you for a little bit. We've known you as Boots. Tell the people why Boots SSJ. Tell us about that.
All right.
Represent.
All right. Okay, so Boots actually came from when I was in Boots actually it's not a name from it's not a name from the block or nothing like that. Boots actually came from when I was 16 years old and I was pushing carts at a grocery store, and this old head walks up to me, thinking I'm somebody else probably, and he's just like, "My man Boots, what's good, baby?" And I'm just like, I don't know who this guy is, but I'm like, shit, all it's all love, man. What's good with you? He's like, all right, and he just kind of keeps moving. It's like one of those exchanges. And
is he like an older dude?
Yeah, he's probably like in his 40s at the time. I'm like 16, maybe 7.
So he's kind of like OG a little bit.
Yeah. But I mean, I ain't never seen a man before in my life. I don't even I don't even know who that was. But like you know, my one of my coworkers who was one of my coworkers was standing next to me. He's like Boots, and I'm like, I don't know, but I like it, so I ran with it. So I just started calling myself that. If I'm meeting with motherfuckers that I don't want them to know my government just yet, I'll just introduce myself I'll just introduce myself as Boots. It was more interesting to me than introducing myself as one singular letter.
True that. Stage name, man. It's just like mine, the Shaolin Fantastic.
So then it became so then when I started rapping like a year or so later, I was wondering what I would call myself, and so I just So then it became so then when I started rapping.
Sorry about that. My bad. Technical.
All good. I was wondering. I didn't want to interrupt whoever was talking, and then I realized it was me. So then it became Boots J, just cause Jermaine Cole, J. Cole. This is before we knew about him, but obviously, but yeah. So I just rocked with that, and then last year I was a little tired. I was a little tired of it. I was a little over it. I'd actually kind of gone through like a mean transitional phase where I'd taken like a long hiatus from rapping, and then I just I still wanted it to be the same, but I just wanted to change it. I want to change it up just a little bit. So I decided to go with SSJ because I felt like I hit Super Saiyan when I was when I got back in the booth for real. And you remember what it took when you seen Dragon Ball Z, what it took for Goku to hit Super Saiyan that first time. I went through hell too.
Yeah.
So that's what. So it just kind of made sense to me. Plus, I'm like kind of a subcategory weeb, so I'm real into anime. So it just all fit me like a glove.
Yeah, the way you described, like when we was talking about this earlier before, we start recording for the show and stuff like that. So for the listeners out there, obviously the people on live right now, you can't hear it, but for the podcast listeners, we actually have some of his tracks playing around in the background. But you said melodic quasi trap music. Like I've never heard that, but you know what? When I hear that, it makes me drawn to it, makes me want to listen to it even more. And then when I hear the music and the sound of your voice and the lyrics, it actually does make sense. It's very melodic, and I feel like a lot of artists in general kind of just don't really have that right now. Maybe like a couple artists, but definitely not in this area. And obviously, we want to definitely support local artists because we do have a lot of big artists that come out of this area too.
Yeah, a lot of them. A lot of them. There's been there's actually, you see our area is known for I hate to use this metaphor, but it's the whole crabs in a barrel thing.
Yeah.
So it's so like you know, it's just so it's just a you know, we had a like we had a hard time coming up with a sound. And like, you know, a lot of people say like you know, a lot of people say that we copy the styles of other places, but honestly like one, I don't like I'm sort of reeling back my opinion on that one, because like just because like hip hop started, like, you know, hip hop started in New York, and everybody who got on it was like, you know, imitating New York, and then the South switched it up, and then Chicago switched it, like you know, Chicago switching it up again. And we're gonna switch it, like we're gonna switch it up in our own way, because when you hear our artists, you can tell they're our artists. Like you can like you know, you can hear that you can hear that, you know, like you can hear that slang.
The
You know,
DMV
you can
slang.
hear, yeah, you can hear that, you can hear that you know, you can hear that
Oh, your sound went out. Oh, technical difficulty.
yes, sorry.
All
I
good.
had to yeah, someone called on my phone just now. I hope they don't I hope they don't start blowing me up.
Nah, it's all good.
But so anyways, but what I was leading up to with that is that if you listen to the sound now, as opposed to just like 4 years ago, like 2016, there's been like tremendous growth. There's been tremendous growth in people's style, their lyrics, they're like, you know, it always starts out shaky, but it's really turning into something. Like and I really fuck with it. At first I had to fuck with it because, like, you know, this is my city, these are my people, like, you know, this is my area. I cannot be like you know, I cannot hate, even if I even if I don't fully understand. But
Yeah.
you
That
know,
makes sense.
you see that growth, and I realized that my faith wasn't misplaced.
Yeah.
You know.
So speaking about, you know, coming from the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, you're from Maryland, you know, PG County area. For those that know PG County's got some really nice parts, but it's also got some parts that are not the greatest also as well, but it's an emerging area that's kind of growing still at the same time too. And, you know, obviously, like we mentioned about, you know, our hip hop, our rap scene out here. Like, let me ask you this: what is hip hop to you? Good question, right?
I guess I guess best way for me to sum it up would probably be what I have an uncle who's like you know, who's an amazing guitarist. He you know, he had a like he's from the Filipino side, you know, where you know, our people are known for you know, our people are known for musical talent. So so yeah,
especially karaoke.
but yeah, yeah. So he's just been like a working guitarist, like, you know, in LA. But so I imagine like hip hop is to me what I imagine punk rock was to him in the 80s.
Gotcha.
Just like you know, his way, because music is music is quite often rebellious. Like you know, especially like, you know, especially like not mainstream, but you know, like not mainstream but not fringe, you know what I'm saying? It's always it's always rebellious. And the same way that that rock and roll, like, you know, broke all the rules back in the 50s and 60s when it was emerging, hip hop did that, like, you know, in the late 80s, early 90s, when it was emerging. And like, you know, it shocked people. It always shocks the you know, it always brings a shock to the the status quo of what people think it's supposed to be.
It pushes the envelope.
No one's exempt. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. No one's exempt from it. No one's safe from it. And like, you know, it's my driving force, really. It's because without it, I really don't know what I got. You know.
No, that definitely makes sense, man. I mean, hip hop has definitely changed a lot of people's lives, and we have to acknowledge that it is Black and Puerto Rican culture, but now it's very globalized,
Of course.
and for those that are are not watching our video but are listening in, so your back. What is your ethnic background by any chance?
I'm my dad's from the Philippines. He's from Ilocos Norte. He's Ilocano, and my mom is Irish American from North Carolina.
You speak Tagalog? Uh-oh. We're gonna have to get you an Android or something.
I'm so sorry, bro. I forgot to turn off all my alarms. I got people calling me.
Hey, man, you're a busy dude, man. But can you speak Tagalog?
Yeah. No, because for two reasons. One, I really didn't. Well, for one, my family speaks Ilocano. It's less common than what you than most Filipinos that you would meet in America. However, in Hawaii, most of the Filipinos that you meet there are Ilocano. It's kind of like Ilocanos are more like the country people. They're the mountain people. They're like the rice, it's all jungle and rice paddies out there. So my dad's from a rural area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's literally from the dirt, from the jungle, so got a lot of respect for him off of that.
So with music, music has changed so much over the years, especially with technology. Like, do you feel the internet has made a better impact on the music scene, or it made it worse? Because especially being an artist now, and obviously the times have definitely changed. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I was an outside kid who turned into an inside adult. I got the last couple of years, I've always been a little more shy, a little more introverted, but I would rather be out, my home life as a child, for the majority of it kind of sucked. So I hated being in the house. I was always trying to be outside, but as an adult, now that I got my own shit and I can entertain myself, I prefer to just stay low key, be chilling. And I love that the internet has made it easier to connect and promote, and it's like be out in the world without being out in the world. So in a sense, aside from shows and touring, which is which is to come. Besides that, I only have to go out in the world when I want to, or when I really need to. But as far as promotions, I don't have to try and sell my CD on the train, because in 2009, when I had when I recorded my first couple of demos, I was handing out my shit on the orange line and the green
CDs,
line.
I definitely think entrepreneurship with the internet has blessed it. Has made it that saying, work smarter, not harder. And obviously, you can do everything from the technology in your hand, man. This is like a walking computer in our hand, and we got computers and everything now. But have you performed yet, or have you started to kind of look into that, or do music videos to promote your music?
So all right. So I used to perform back in 2011, 2012. I think the last time I ever got on a stage was probably 2014. That's when my life kind of took a turn. It was around 2014, but no, in recent years I haven't done oh, and I did like and I have like, you know, shot a couple of videos like, you know, on some amateur shit, you know, just like some, you know, some like you know, a girl who was like a cinematography major, you know, just, you know, we didn't know anybody else who had like we didn't have, you know, we didn't have a camera, we didn't know anybody else who did have a camera, so like, you know, it was good for what we could come up with, like, you know, back when we were like 21, 22, but we're actually trying to get visuals together now, so that I have something to show when I like, you know, when this thing fully goes into promotion.
Gotcha. So being an artist,
yeah, like, no, not in recent years.
Yeah. So being an artist, do you have a production team, or do you know, meet different, you know, producers, or do you produce on your own? Do you, like, how does your process work? Like, tell me, like, what goes in your creative state of mind? Like, when you start writing, do you listen to music first? Do you just write in general and then you just bring your stuff to the studio? Because, you know, as a hip hop fan, we hear stories about, you know, Biggie, Big L. We hear stories about Pac. You know, like, they're completely different styles. Jay-Z doesn't write. Apparently, he just listens to everyone else and then he just goes in and records. You know, like, what's your process?
You know what? You just jogged my memory about that whole Jay-Z not writing thing.
Yeah,
my mind's just blown all over. My mind's just blown all over again. It wasn't like it wasn't 03. Okay, so to answer your questions sequentially, I do have a production team. In fact, I would say that I probably have one. Like I probably got the I got the best team, man. I got the I got the best team. There's about 5 of us in total. All of us are all of us are more or less artists. Like, you know, you're gonna be seeing more. Like, you know, you're gonna be seeing more come from my camp as time goes on. But I have probably like one of my producer is, I think he's one of the best in the area. He's certainly the most underrated in the area. His on Instagram he goes by @mixedbymoses, and he is he is highly sought after. Like, you know, especially especially in our scene, and even even I mean, like, he's not you know, he's not nationally known yet, but like, you know, anyone who comes to DC, to like anyone who comes from out of town to DC to record is gonna get directed to my my man Moses. He's dude's got that heat. He's definitely the best engineer definitely the best engineer I've ever worked with. And I'm not just saying that because he's been my best friend since we was like 11. But it's actually true.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my you know, that's my business partner. It's a couple of us were you know, it's a couple of us were all you know, we're all shareholders in the in our business. So we got a good you know, we got a good division of labor. It's always fire when it's always fire when we link. And yeah, I believe in my team first, and that's why you know, because that they're the ones who give me the strength to really like push myself, to really put that faith in myself. Just because I see how hard they go, and I'm just like, well, I will not, you know, and I just look at them and I'm like, oh man, I will not be outdone. Not by you guys, you know, not by my own guys.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense because you got chemistry. You know, when you guys were younger, and then now that you are on a professional level, the chemistry definitely makes things a lot more creative and more fun and stuff like that. So let's just play this little 20 question game. I was gonna ask you, okay. if you could open a show for any artist, who would you want to open up for?
Who would I open up for? That's a good one. I guess I'm not really sure because I'm not really sure because I don't because I'm not really I don't really go to concerts anymore, so I don't really know how these guys are on stage or how they conduct a show. So I wouldn't really have much of a frame of reference on that. But but who my favorites are, who I would want to who I would want to work with. Right now, my my favorite rapper out is Rilo Rodriguez. I don't know. I don't know if you know him, but he's out of Mobile. He's out of Mobile, Alabama, and he's very he's super gritty, man. Like he's he definitely epitomizes the whole mumble rap thing. But the thing is, you can still get what even though he's like barely pronouncing his words, you can still get what he's saying, and it's still like it all makes perfect sense. It's all cutting he's got some really cutting lines. So I really fuck with his style. One of my two of my all-time favorites are Currency and Fabulous.
Currency, dang! I haven't heard his name in a minute. He's nice. Currency is nice.
Well, I mean, he's one of the guys that made me really want to be a spitter. So mad, to the point where I'm almost mad that he branded it before I thought of it.
Yeah.
Those are my two. Those are the Fabulous, big source of big source of inspiration for me because I just fucked with how I just fucked with how laid back and almost kind of blasé he was. Something some people think that makes him boring to listen to, but I I just
it's swag.
He was just so cool to me. I was like, yo, I want to be like that. I really want to be like that. That's kind of what I'm going for, just in my own way. And then I would say my low key one of my low key favorite artists is technically his name is pronounced Black, but everyone knows him as 6 Lack. So because he spells it the number 6 LACK. So I guess the 6 is an Atlanta reference. Anyways, not to go too much into it, but yeah, those are the 4. Yeah, I go on tangents sometimes. Those are the 4 that I really fuck with. So I guess I'd like to open for any one of them. But right now, I'll open for anybody. I'll open for I'll open for somebody of a different genre. Well, yeah, I'm not too picky.
I mean, let's be real about it. Kid Rock opened up for NWA. People didn't even know about that. Kid Rock of all people.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's
I would probably have to.
That was back in the 80s, man.
I don't know how closely associated I want to be with Kid Rock.
Yeah.
Not in these times, man.
No, that's so true. That's so true. So let me ask you this.
That's a dope come up story, though.
It is. It definitely is. So let's go back to let's talk about PG County. And you said growing up it was kind of a little difficult. What kind of trouble did you used to get into when you were younger? Or how was it growing up? And do you feel like your childhood impacts your music and your writing?
Oh yeah, more than I'd like it to because I've spent so much time trying to just trying to outrun it, and it was I would say this I'm the oldest of 3, and my parents they had set themselves up right, but shit just really didn't, like, you know, just didn't work out for them for the longest. Like, you know, they were supposed to be doing better than what they were. And I don't know, and you know, like, it's been like you know, it's been like financially ups and downs, because like, you know, they like, you know, there were some good times, but it seems like mm, out of, like, there's been like tragedy stricken my family, like, you know, quite a bit, especially like in the early 2000s. Like, I think when I was like when I was 13, my dad had accepted a job like out in Arizona, and so we moved out there, and it was a good job. And so, like, you know, we had a nicer house, we had cable. I never had no cable, like, you know, like till I was about 13. So like, so, you know, it was like it was sweet. I was kind of like I was kind of happy, because like, you know, just growing up, I always, like, you know, just overheard my parents and could understand more than what they thought I could about like, you know, what's going on and like what kind of position we're in. But it was always money, money, money. Like, you know, we need more. What can we, like I don't know what we're gonna do. All those key phrases that just, like, you know, as a kid, like, they don't think you understand that shit, but you do.
Yeah.
And so I kind of felt bad, because I kind of felt bad because, like, you know, I felt like I was just like, and here I am, like, you know, eating up the food, and like, you know, using, like, you know, using the like you know, using the electricity, like, you know, things that like an 11-year-old and 12-year-old ain't supposed to be thinking about, you know. So it's just it's like it was a constant state of anxiety, because up until like 2 years ago, I didn't even know I had anxiety. I didn't like I didn't know any of that. Like, um and it was just like, you know, I was like I was different. I didn't grow up with like, you know, it's PG County. It's like, you know, it's mostly black kids in the neighborhood. I'm a little different. I stand out. I draw like I draw attention. It's to be expected, like, you know, especially among especially amongst kids. But, you know, that wasn't really even a big deal to me. Uh, but I would say, like, you know, as a kid, like, you know, being outside, wandering, and like, you know, wandering in places that my folks told me to stay away from. Like, you know, I saw you know, I saw a lot of wild shit. I saw like you know, I had some near misses of my I had some near misses myself. I just like, you know, it was just kind of like taking in the world around me, and just realizing how fucking, just realize how terrible it is out there. It's like, it was kind of like I would see something, I would see a picture that was like, you know, depicting, like, you know, people being happy, and I'm just like, yo, how can, what's with the smiles? Like, do they not understand what type of fucked up shit happens out here?
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like that's the way I've been my whole life. It's just like, somehow I've always known that positivity and stability is a fragile thing. I just I always knew that, even before I could understand, like, you know, what it was I was thinking. But like, it just caused me to move cautious as a kid. It caused me to, like, you know, you know, deeply paranoid as a kid, and it all carried with me into adulthood. So it's just like, in a sense, when I think about it, nothing really that bad actually happened to me as a kid. That doesn't happen to most kids, but that happened to most kids. But because like, you know, because I had, like, you know, undiagnosed anxiety and, like, you know, acute paranoia, that I didn't even realize till like, just like, really, like, 2019, that that's why I felt this way. Like, I've felt it, like I've spent my whole life just like kind of trying to be, just trying to woo-saw myself, and trying to, like, you know, appear like unbothered and, like, you know, unscathed, when really this when really, like, you know, this shit's killing me inside.
Yeah.
You know. And and I touch on that a lot in my music.
Definitely social emotional health
I touch on that. That's probably. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely we've seen an increase over the last, let's say, 15 years, social emotional health, and especially now with the COVID, I mean, we're definitely seeing, I've seen it myself, just being cooped up in the house, and it gives you opportunity to either grow and do better for yourself, or it's either you're gonna take a step back and you're just gonna be like stuck in this box. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I think it was because like when people are tired of hiding like hiding that shit. People are tired of the stigmas that come along with like, especially you see this in immigrant in immigrant communities all the time. What's the one thing, like when we're feeling this way, what's the one thing they tell us to do? They tell us to pray. They
suck it
tell us to
up.
take our ass to sleep. They tell us to man up, and that's
Yeah.
and that's kind of like that's fucked up, because, and especially because I halfway agree with it, because one, nobody wants to hear you complaining about shit all the time, but
Yeah.
but again, it's like, bro, we got shit to get done. We got we gotta get this money. We gotta escape this shit. You can process that shit once we're in a better position, but we gotta get off the block. We gotta get we gotta get into better houses. We gotta get into more stable positions. So so it's all but it just, I think it all just kind of came to a fever pitch of people trying to trying to fit that American ideal of strength and whatever else. We just got tired of that shit, and just we just want to be ourselves. We just want to be ourselves now. I know I do.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. I can definitely say that. I can definitely say that about the Asian community. We're taught to suck it up a lot, right? Like, just kind of deal with it and just don't really speak about it, and just keep moving as best you can. And eventually it bottles you up inside. You know what I mean?
real quick, what you're Thai?
Yeah, I'm Thai.
Oh, okay, dope. I used to work at this restaurant in Chevy Chase called Sushi Co, and half the staff was Thai.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Y'all y'all cool people. Like y'all some cool people. They all like they all like to uh to get all their food together, when it's like when we close between services. They
Yeah.
get they get their family meal together. They get whatever else they brought from home. They sit at they sit at the table and just talk to each other, and just it's all family style
Yeah.
around the table. And if you choose to sit within proximity, they all they offer you food. I loved it. I loved it. I miss them.
I feel like I see that a lot with
Yeah.
Southeast Asian. You know what I mean? Like, the dinner style is
Mm-hmm.
very tapa style. Everyone's got a
Yeah.
BDS Southeast Asian.
Papa style.
Yeah, man. But so
Papa style. Yeah. Yeah.
let me ask you this: since you have an
What?
Asian American background, do you find it hard being in the hip hop scene, especially with all the stuff that's going on right now, or is it kind of just very natural and easy? Because let's be transparent about, there's a lot of haters out there, because they're gonna be like, oh well, if you ain't black, you ain't Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? Do you feel like that happens with you, or not really, because of your upbringing from PG? Because that plays a part in it too, where you grew up.
I would say that it's definitely a mixed bag, with these reactions, because there are some people who are gonna one I'm to a lot of people, I'm not really I'm not discernibly Asian. I'm really ambiguous. Most people think I'm either native or
Hawaiian.
or Hispanic. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've gotten that too, but I usually get native and Hispanic, but so it's the perception varies person to person. I do got some people that like you said, oh, if you're not black, then it's like the whole culture vulture thing. I just tune that out. I just tune that out and let them and let them like think what they like. I just let them think what they want to think. I don't even I don't even bother to dispute just because then just because then that can be a polarizing situation, and it's
Yeah.
honestly just kind of not that it's kind of not that serious to me. And at the same time, I understand where the I understand where the mentality comes from, and just the system that is built on that breeds thought processes like that. So it's kind of like it's kind of like I just have to keep an open mind and just be thoughtful to what someone else knows and understands, and just kind of and just kind of like let it rock, because for real, if they don't fuck with me, they don't fuck with me. That's all it is. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I don't exactly care why.
Well, what's that saying?
I let them do what they want, and I can.
What's that saying? Can't please everyone. Fuck it. Right? You just can't please everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
sure, yeah, exactly. But then I got some people that are really that. Then you got some people who are like the antithesis of that. Whereas though it's like they'll ask me where I'm from, what's my ethnicity, with when they hear me speak and they hear me and they hear my music, and then I actually get this a lot. I actually get this a lot. I say this they ask me where I'm from, and I'm like, oh, I'm Filipino. My dad's from the Philippines. They're like, hey, I love Filipinos, and I've gotten a few responses like this, I'm like, yo, our people's got more in common than a lot of people think, and some people just be like, I get that response a lot, and that one that one gives me life. So really, I get the negatives, the positives, and just everything in between. Too many to really categorize them. So I really just say, if you fuck with me, you fuck with me. If you don't, you don't.
yeah,
That's it.
let me ask you this. So speaking about music and being of a different ethnic background in this genre. So like one of the things I saw when you posted was about the Bruno Mars and Leave the Door Open. It's a big song right now. What's your take on that? Because a lot of people are like, some people are hating on it, and some people are saying it's like the greatest song of all time. You share. I mean, it's open forum, bro.
I know. It's okay. All right. So I'll say this to the people who saying that Bruno Mars is appropriating. All I'm gonna say is, okay, understandable. That's it. You are entitled to that's something that you're entitled to, and especially I'm not gonna all right. This music that I make, this music that Bruno makes, this music that, well, Cassie's Blasian, so I think she is. Anyways, it's like when you're a non-black POC, or even white, and you're partaking in the black music culture, you don't you have to understand that you're in it, you're not of it. This is this isn't this isn't your thing. Not that we as Asians in America have a lot of options to choose from, because if we come here on some if you came from Thailand and came out as making whatever music is popular back back there, or likewise with me in the Philippines, it's not gonna take off. So you choose so you're already in another you're already in another group's culture, no matter which way you decide to go. But especially with black music culture, because it has been hijacked It's been hijacked to no end. Since since the since the
50s.
beginning, black black culture is further back than that, but we can call it that, if we want to start with rock and roll, but it's just like I can't discount the feelings and what people are saying when they say stuff like that, because look at Post Malone.
Yeah.
He came in as White Iverson, Monty Ellis, his style was dope to me, doper than I cared to admit, because he was some rich kid whose dad works for the Mavericks, I think. But he has just has such a dope sound. So I was like, you know what, he's cool. He's just cool in my books. But then you start to see, in addition to him saying that rap music isn't lyrical, which means he doesn't have a frame of reference. If he's saying it,
Wow.
anybody who says rap music isn't lyrical does not have a frame of reference. And he so that I lost a little bit of respect for that. But now he's not even on the hip hop charts anymore. He's on the pop charts. I just heard he just did a cover of I Only Want to Be With You by fucking Hootie and the Blowfish. What the fuck is this? Nobody asked for this. Who even still likes that song?
Yeah.
1994, man. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. I know you're into rock, but of all the classics you could have covered, you could have oh my god,
you pick Hootie. We know what you was trying to do, Post Malone. We know what you was trying to do, Post Malone.
I honestly felt violated when I heard that, but I'm on a tangent again. But the point is, he came in through these through avenues that were paved by black artists.
Yeah.
And he got paid, he got put on because of black artists.
Yeah.
And now he's not, and in disrespecting hip hop the way he did,
it makes it worse.
But he was still, at least he was still rocking with, at least he was still rocking with him at the time. And but now he's just completely off the scene, and he's making he's making his money, he's topping charts, and he just I can't say you forgot where you came from, because he surely didn't come from he surely didn't come from the struggle.
Disrespectful.
It is because it's like, did you see that movie The Irishman?
No, I haven't. Pretty good. I've never seen it.
Okay. It was a mob movie about how the Kennedys were tangled up with the mafia, and then and basically they said this was before the assassination. One of the bosses of the Buffalino crime family says listen, he knows who he owes. Believe that he knows who he owes. And artists like Post Malone, they don't know who they owe. That I think is the difference between appropriation and homage. Because now I don't know too much. I don't follow Bruno very closely. One, I love the song. Anderson .Paak is just too smooth.
The song is fire.
If his style, yeah. It's like that's the kind of cognac that goes down so smooth you forget you're drinking.
Oh, I mean, no doubt, man. Listen, the moment you hear that song, you know something's going down in the bedroom. That means don't knock on the door, don't call my phone. You know something. Yeah, it's that. You know what's going on. The thing that's fun. It's ironic that you say that. And when I was seeing some of the comments, people even on the national scale, You know, they asked Bruno Mars that question. They interviewed him. I think it was like Apple. They interviewed him, and he said, you know, that's what he grew up on. You know, he's a '90s kid. You know, that grew up on New Jack Swing, R&B, soul, rock, blues, and if you really pay attention to Bruno Mars, I actually think he's probably one of the better artists in the last 20 years because he does his own music. He writes as well. But if you listen to every album, it's a different style of music. Like when he first came out, it was like rock music, right? And then like the second album was like wedding ballads a little bit, and then all of a sudden it became New Jack Swing, and then
definitely,
you know what I mean. So it's like, you know, and then he flat out says that you know this is what he grew up on, and he's always going to pay homage, you know, to the style that it originally came from. You know what I mean? So I feel like that is a big difference between him and Post Malone.
I think what's important is that I think what's important is that he like you know in remember and like you know obviously Bruno knows who he owes. I know who I owe, you know, and in with that you got to put your dollars back. Like every rapper coming out the 90s used to say, you gotta like you always put your dollars back. You always give it back to the community that raised you. You give it back to those that put you on. You look out for the people that looked out for you. And also like, you know, he should be putting on artists, especially like, you know, especially Black artists from his area because at the end of the day, like, you know, no matter like Eminem, like I don't know if he outsold every rapper, but he outsold most rappers. Like, you know, Elvis outsold BB King, Robert Johnson, whoever the fuck. But you know what? At the end, but at the end of the day, whether you do the right thing or the wrong thing, it belongs to them. And they're always gonna like it's always gonna belong to them. And if you forget that, God help you. You know, if you
get slandered,
forget where if you forget where you come from or who put you on, God help you.
Yeah, so I feel like not just music, but I feel like it's like everything that you do in life, you know, for the people that inspired you or even the culture that help you get you where you're at, you should always give back. I just think that's like a very humanistic thing to do, you know, give back, especially to the youth, you know what I mean? Because it gives them, you know, an opportunity to grow and look that they have a path that they can keep moving forward with and stuff like that. So let me ask you this, because we're about to come up to the end of our show, but if you could change anything in the music industry, what would you change? Like anything that you want.
I would say, and there's a lot. I would say, one thing I hate seeing, and this definitely has to go back to oh shit, I just lost my thought. Okay. This goes back to like, you know, how I did things and why and sort of why it took me so long to why it's taken me so long to break out. But I hate seeing artists like have to like, you know, go into litigation for their masters. I like, you know, I hate seeing that. It was going on with like you know, NBA YoungBoy tried to get his masters. Kanye is trying to get his masters. It's happened with countless other artists that I can't name off the top of my head. But you know, and really, it wasn't something that I thought about. It wasn't something that I thought of. It wasn't an original thought by me. It was something that, like, you know, my guys it was something that my guys were thinking about, like, you know, when we heard about how record labels will just basically fuck all these artists over, and you know, basically they had just harped on, because as an artist, I do it for the love. you know, I'm not really in it for the money. I need the money, but I'm in it for the love. So like, you know, I was just trying to land a deal or something. You know, I just wanted to get on, didn't care how. And then, like, you know, started with Moses, my partner, and he's like, bro, you gonna fuck I really think we need to go the independent route. And like, you know, I didn't have an objection to it. But what I didn't realize is how much work that was going to be.
Let me ask you this real quick. How do you own your masters then? Like, school us on this real quick. Educate us. Like, how do you own your masters? Because like when I hear those stories, like even going back from like New Edition, TLC, even Suge Knight and Death Row Records, like he did it to Snoop. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people didn't read the contracts, and what they didn't understand as the artist, the money that they were making was actually paying for their music videos, their expenses, etc. And I felt like kind of looking at it, and you know, me being like a 80s baby, kind of growing up in the 90s, that people hated on Diddy, but what actually he did was smart, was that he was part of the production team, so he had his hands in the song all over the place. A lot of people didn't like that, but in reality, that covered you. You know what I mean? Like that gave you a little bit more ownership because you were a producer, you're a songwriter, etc. You know, and Master P completely changed that part of it. You know what I mean?
I think the biggest thing about me owning my masters that I value is the fact that I'm not ever going to fight somebody for creative control. The only other people who have a say in what comes out is like, you know, is my producer. And like, you know, my guys, like I listen to them when they say, oh, like, you know, I do my own writing. I don't you know, I'm really idealistic about writing, about doing my own writing, but they still coach me, give me tips, dot the T's, cross the I's, cross the I's,
that's it.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So that's the type of collaboration that I'm into. That's the type of collaboration that I'm into, but I don't ever want to fight somebody for for creative control. That's the biggest thing I value about it, and the fact that like, you know, I'll just make the moves that I want to make, that I think is the smartest to make. And so basically what we did was like, you know, of course, you know, you got to get the exclusives to these beats that you're paying for. You got to pay attention to the paperwork there, because some of these guys because some of these producers want their publishing, they want their royalties. So you got to you basically what it comes down to is you know, you have to own the musical composition. You have to copyright them, lyrics, so no one can steal that shit from you. And you need and like, you know, you need to, blanking on all the terminology, but you know what a PRO is, right?
Well, what's that? What's PRO? Publishing royalties?
That's yeah, something. I'm blanking on what it is. I know my man Martell, like, you know, wants to smack the shit out of me right now for not remembering this on the air. But basically we set everything up. Like, you know, we got published, we got copyrighted, we made sure, like, you know, we did all the paperwork, and basically it's like if when producers want their credits and they are legally entitled to it, you have to, like, you know, you have to give it to them. You have to negotiate with them. You have to, like, you know, you're gonna have to part with something. So like, you know, you're always gonna have to pay, like, you know, you're always gonna have to pay the piper. But this way, the way going independent, we really just, like, you know, if like, we keep that to a minimum. We definitely keep that to a minimum, and in that like, you know, no one tells us what we have to do, or, like, you know, what we have to say, because like, you know, when record labels get involved and they got opinions of your shit, they might think it's a little too avant-garde or something like that, so they make you change it. That's that would kill me. I wouldn't even see the point. Like, you know, if I was like, you know, if I was like operating at the mercy of some asshole who just wants to make money.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so we are coming to the end of our show. So let me ask you one last question, and then you have the camera, you have the audio, you have the video. You got a full
Honestly,
30 seconds. Put you on the spot again.
If you're trying to cut the time, like, you know, I could keep going. I can keep going. I'm having a great time right now.
So like,
but what's your question?
So the question is, what kind of things, you know, that you feel? Oh yeah, let me bluntly say, what is the best advice you've been given up to your age at this date? What's the best advice you've been given?
Oh my god! I've gotten a lot. Okay. You know what? I got multiple answers for this question. One of them is actually on the tape, on the EP. So, track 3, Sushi Gang, right? It's actually it all comes from conversations that I would always have with the head chef over there. His name is Handri Chan. He's Indonesian. And like, you know, he grew up in Baltimore. You know, he's got like you know, you can see you know, you can kind of see the hard times when you look at when you look at him. He's like you know, he's definitely like he's not a gangster per se, but he's an OG to me. You know.
Yeah.
He's like you know, he's not a gangster, but he is gangster. So like, but he also got like there are a lot of lines are really just adapted, like key phrases that he always says. Like, I said things like, you know, how he says it to me, because he would keep harping on certain things, like, you know, telling me to drop my paranoia, telling me to, like, you know, move cleaner, move organized, move smart, like, you know, stuff like that, telling me not to stop. And it was so like it was just so and like, you know, basically saying, like, focus on the good, like, you know, take the good parts from somebody, and don't focus on the bad. Don't try to process the bad, like you know, don't try to process the bad now. That just take the good parts. Take whatever you can use to help you. That might, you know, that right there might have been the best advice anyone's ever given me. Is just to focus on the good in people. Like, you know, take pages out of other people's books to like, you know, you know, for your own manual. So that was some of the best advice anyone's ever given me, and I keep and, like, you know, I make so much so that I felt the need to write an entire song to it. You know, so that's one dude I definitely got to thank, because, like, you know, he helped, him and my best friend Moses, like, you know, pulled me out of that long bout of depression that kept me away from music for so long. Another great piece of advice is something that Moses told me. Like, you know, because he knows me so well that he's able to tell me about myself, and it pisses me off to no end. But you know, but you know, that's why he's my best friend. You know, that's why that's like, you know, so he tells me one day, he's like, bro, when you get away from music, you get depressed. Why do you keep getting away from music? Why are you not back here doing this? And at the time, like, you know, I didn't know how. It was the furthest thing away from my mind, and I was miserable. I was miserable, even when I was like you know, even when I was, you know, I was in the restaurants hustling, like, you know, like I was working, like, you know, part-time in like a couple different restaurants, hustling my ass off, both legally and, you know, otherwise. So you know, it's like even when you know, even in the midst of like I've never not been productive, but on an emotional level, I was extremely stagnant in that time. It really so you know, when he said that to me, and it wasn't even the first time he had said it to me, but when he said it to me, it really you know, it just kind of like it just boomed in my head, like you know what, you are absolutely right, you motherfucker, like why do you have this power over me? Like I don't understand it, but you know, it's just been like another, hard knocks we come from. You know, it seems to be the only language we understand.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I think those two advice that you just gave is very, very powerful. What I got from it was to always try to take the positive out of every situation that you're in and every person that you meet. And the other one is chase your passion. You know, if you lose your passion, then you lose drive. You feel sadness, depressed, and you just an emotional roller coaster. But you want to always keep yourself motivated by just doing the things that you like doing and be the best at whatever you're doing, you know? So, all right, my man. Well, you got 30 seconds to promote yourself, your Instagrams. If you want to say something positive to the listeners out there, the mic is yours, man. All eyes on you.
Okay, all right. Well, my EP, I'll Be All Right, drops. When is the, how many days away is April 1st? Because that's when it drops. It drops on April 1st. Please, you know, please go get it. It's on Amazon, pre-order right now. That link is gonna go up in my bio. I got the fresh delivery link in there right now, but I'm about to change it right now. Go get that, and it's gonna be streaming on every platform that you've ever heard of and some that you've never heard of. So it will be Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, everything. It's all gonna be there. Videos are coming soon. I don't know when outside opens up, but when it is, you will see me on some stages. And something positive to the listeners. I love y'all. That's my positive messages to anyone who listens and fucks with my music. I love you. All right? Because you're gonna be the reason I make it, and I will never forget that.
Most definitely. Thank you. Hey, I just want to thank you for you know, for reaching out to me, and then we're making this interview. And like I said, we're gonna work on some other things with you later on in the future. You know, we definitely want to see the growth of your music, and definitely we're always I'm gonna support your music, my dude. You know what I mean? So
this was amazing, man. I love this racket you got going on here. I fuck with it heavy. I was nervous about this shit, and now I want to keep going. But
wait till you come into the studio. When you come in the studio, is a whole completely different feel, and then when we have our cast here, it's a completely different feel. You know, so most definitely.
Oh, that sounds like fun. Can't wait.
Yeah. So that's the end of our show. Make sure you follow us on our Instagram at The Fresh Delivery Show, also our Facebook as well. If you like what you heard and you want a replay of the episode, you can go on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Now we're actually on YouTube. Also, definitely check out our sponsors, linesofcharacters.com. Also, if you are in the Maryland area, check out Markoff's Haunted Forest in Poolesville, Maryland. Make sure that you check out Boots. You can check out his Instagram at Boots, Boots SSJ at Instagram. He also has his link in there. His debut album, I Be All Right, drops April 1st. Make sure you get that on Amazon Music. We are The Fresh Delivery Show, and we're out, y'all. Peace.